All right, everybody, welcome back to another Rogue build guide. This one is going to be right above my head here. You can kind of see it, our Force Imbue. This is the one that we played with in the first weekend with the double Imbue skill, which is pretty fun, that I enjoyed running. Again, this is another range build. I know I promised you guys a couple range builds prior to the launch of the game, which we are very, very, very close to now. So get that hype meter on and let's make sure we get in there. This is another combo points build. So we are going to be using the timing of 1, 2, 3, fire, 1, 2, 3, fire. So keep that in mind as we're going through this. But let's go ahead and jump in like we always have here with my video. So here you can see it. This will be in the link below. As always, if you enjoy my build videos, go ahead and hit a like and subscribe down below so I can see it there. So again, we are going to be using our basic attack. It's going to be Forceful Arrow. That is going to give us that powerful arrow, dealing 20% damage in every third cast. We are making people vulnerable, which is great. Then we're going to pair that with Penetrating Shot as our core skill, fire and arrow that pierces through all enemies in a line, dealing 98% damage. And we'll get into the modifiers here in just a minute. We are going to be using Poison Imbuement and Shadow Imbuement to make sure that we are getting our AoE clear and we are making sure we're getting our single target damage. As always, we're going to take Dark Shroud here to make sure that we are getting plenty of our damage protection. And then we are going to use Caltrips as our CC over Poison Trap just because they are a little bit faster. And we have that, they have that jump mechanic back, which gives us kind of an extra evade. Then we are going to be looking for these aspects, right? Trick Shot. Whenever Penetrating Shot damages an enemy, 2 additional arrows split off of either side. These arrows deal 10 to 25% damage. This is from the Bastion of Faith dungeon in Hawazar. But if you get this one sitting around, or maybe get it from another dungeon or a world boss a little bit earlier, highly recommend this one. It pairs very nice with that. Then you've got the aspect of the Expectant. Enemies attacking basic skill increase damage. Enemies attacking enemies with a basic skill increases the damage of your next core skill by 5 to 10%, up to 30%. So that pairs very nicely with combo points because they're stacking. And then you've got that rapid aspect, right? Basic skills gain your attack speed 15 to 30%. That is a huge one, especially because we're going to be using, our force barrel into Penetrating Shot to make sure we blow things up. So we're going to take a look at our skill tree here. Right, like I said, we're moving down in Forceful Arrow. We're not going to put too many points into this. We'll get into this as we go down the mod, as we clear, like I always do, and go walk through this. Then we're going to take our Penetrating Shot in our core skills, as well as Stutter Step, just because we're going to need to reposition. Again, we're taking our Caltrips as our CC ability, 3 into Concussive, and 3 into Weapon Mastery by the time we get done with it. Always with the Dark Shroud. I really enjoy Dark Shroud. It's basically free damage mitigation on a pretty simple cooldown. And as you get different things in here, we can gain. But again, gaining that free 55% damage reduction at 11.2% damage reduction per shadow is pretty great. And then we're going to take Exploit and Malice, our Poison Imbuement, and our Shadow Imbuement. Then we're going to take our Innervation, as always, Adrenaline Rush, Haste, and we're going to take our Precision. So let's go ahead and clear this out and walk through our leveling up. Now, you could, excuse me, I said that very loudly. You could take Puncture here if you really wanted to. I enjoy, you could play with this if you want, right? I enjoy Fundamental Puncture to imply the vulnerable, but because we're pairing this is a kind of a pure range build. I'm sticking with Forceful Arrow just because you get that vulnerable out of the third cast off your first skill, right? Where you have to burn all the way down into Fundamental Puncture to get that third here. This one is a guaranteed and in that straight line, where the Fundamental Puncture you're playing a little bit looser and it pairs a little bit better with the melee builds. So now we're going to take a point into here, and then we're going to take a point into Enhanced, right? Which every third cast Forceful Arrow now also increases your critical strike chance, which is the reason I really enjoy that one as well for energy generation. Then we are going to come down. We're going to take a Penetrating Shot, then Enhanced Penetrating Shot. Now Penetrating Shot deals 10x increased damage for every enemy it pierces. That's pretty huge. Then we're going to take Advanced, whenever cast with full energy, Penetrating Shot will slow all enemies hit by 50% for 3 seconds. Elite enemies will also be knocked down for 1.5 seconds. So that's very good with our advanced penetrating shot, especially when we get into boss fights and things like that. Okay, we're going to take that one. That is then going to move us into coming back up here to take fundamental forceful arrows. So now forceful arrow knocks back non-elite enemies if they are close. If they collide with another enemy, both are knocked down for 1.5 seconds. This skill is pretty awesome. It's also pretty hilarious to watch the enemies kind of bump into each other and then fall over. The animation, as solid as Diablo 4 is, on all fronts, the animation of that is kind of hilarious. Okay, great. So then we've got a choice here. Now, we can take Shadow Step or Dash, right, for a little bit more mobility. However, Shadow Step and Dash take us kind of out of what we want to do, where Caltrips is great for both distancing and slowing enemies and putting yourself in a position to smash them. So there's a couple builds out here, a couple things that, different ways to look at this. The guys over at Max Roll, I think lay out things very nicely. Again, I'm gonna default to their knowledge and what I played within the beta, which was Caltrips. Plus, the animation for Caltrips is really kind of awesome. Then we're gonna take Enhanced, right? Then we're gonna take Disciplined, right? So again, Caltrips, massive cooldown. You get 2 charges on them. Not massive cooldown, but a very tight cooldown. Leap backwards and throw Caltrips on the ground, dealing 30% damage and slowing enemies by 50%. Lasts 6 seconds. Enhanced Caltrips. Enemies take 3% increased damage from you for each second they are in the Caltrip. So again, if they start on the point A, and let's say Caltrips have a 10 meter diameter, right? For every second they're coming across that, they're going to take in 3 crease. So if they take a 3% for every meter of damage, it takes them 10 seconds to get across that. Or actually, let's say it lasts for 6 seconds. So it's 10 meters, or let's just say 6 meters for a thing. That's 18% damage by the time they get across that. Then we're going to take Disciplined. You have 5% critical streak chance against enemies inside your Caltrips. Double this against vulnerable enemies. That's going to come into play when we get down to Shadow Imbuement. So keep that in mind there. Then we are going to come up and we're going to go ahead and after we have that, we're going to come up and we're going to finish off our penetrating shot. Then we're going to move down in here. And as always, we're going to take Dark Shroud, Enhanced Dark Shroud, and Subverting Dark Shroud, like we do on most of my other builds, just because the free damage mitigation you get out of this, plus the shadows, plus that one, plus the movement speed you get, it's too good to pass up. Okay, then we are going to come back up here, and we are going to I goofed this up, guys. That's fine. We're going to we would normally what we would do here, and just so I could do this correctly, what we would do here is 11, 12. We would then take 2 points here to open this up, Then we would take these to get the damage mitigation. Then we'd come back and finish this off is what I would normally do here. But however you want to do it, leveling up on War Tier 1 and kind of ripping through stuff, it's not going to be that big a deal. Then you would come in here, introducing our imbuements into the build. We're going to take 1 into Shadow, 1 into Poison. Then we are going to take Shadow Crash, and then we are going to take Consuming Shadows to make sure we're getting that every time we kill somebody with a Shadow. We're going to Shadow Energy on them. We're going to get that. Then we're going to take Enhanced and then Blended, right? So that way Shadow Imbuement's primary explosion makes enemies vulnerable for 2 seconds. This is going to play in very big. Then we are going to take Enhanced Poison, and then we are going to take Mixed, right? So Lucky Hit Poison Imbue skills have up a 30% chance to apply double the amount of poisoning as damage over time. So this is not a pop Shadow pop poison because they do overwrite each other, right? So Imbue has a pretty hefty cooldown, but it comes with 2 charges, right? This is this is a reason that we take 2 Imbues here. So we can pop Shadow, we can make everybody vulnerable around it by exploding. Then, right, when we get a core shot, we pop Poison with our combo points, and we fire that penetrating shot for the cleanup against bosses, strong single target in applications such as that. So depending on the situation, you might want to pop Poison, use it first, then pop Shadow, or pop Shadow, use it, and then pop Poison. Either way, you'll get the use to it. This is one of the more complicated builds to run because you do have to pay attention to when your Shadow's up, when your other ones are up there as well. So just keep that in mind. It's a lot of fun once you get used to it. I played it in the beta a lot once I saw it run, and then I kind of came and played with it a little bit here. Then, as always, we're going to come down as we open this up and take Adrenaline Rush. Then we're going to take Haste to 3 into our Haste. Then we're going to come up. I like Precision Imbuement here. You could maybe come back up and put some stuff into Weapon Mastery, but I don't. This is not too huge at this point yet. Then we're going to come. I'm going to take 3 into Precision Imbuement here, just because I can. Then I'm going to come down and I'm going to take, or I'm sorry, I'm going to go back up. We're going to take 1 into Exploit, which then I don't know why that's not opening up my Precision. I must have missed something here somewhere. So I'm just going to take 2 into Exploit now because I'm going to come back up and get it anyway. Then I'm going to take my Precision, maybe, if I can click the mouse. Then I'm going to go back up. We're going to go ahead and finish Exploit off. Then we're going to take a point into our Malice. Now we're going to come up and we're going to take Weapon Mastery at this point, right? Then we're going to come over and we're going to take Concussive. After knocking back or knocking down an enemy, you gain 5% in critical strike chance against them, which is pretty good. And then we are going to take, for our last couple of skills here, our last 4 skills, we are going to finish off Poison Imbuement. And now we are into our Renown. So there's a couple ways you can take your Renown here. Again, no level requirement. As you get these, you can throw points wherever you want. I will most likely finish off Dark Shroud with my Renown points, just because it's too good. That damage reduction is way too good, especially as you're starting to get into the World Tier 2, into that Capstone dungeon, from what I've understand and some of the conversations that I've had. You could take Stutter Step here. I think Stutter Step's pretty good, just because you're keeping that movement speed up and it's giving you a lot of movement as you're trying to get into those. And then I enjoy Innervation, right? Gain energy just to complement this guy. You could also take 2 here and then 1 Innervation, depending on how you are on your energy reduction. I would probably finish this off and then maybe take 1 more point and take 1 point Innervation, just because you're going to be making people so squishy with all of your shadows. And then as you kill them with the shadow explosions, the Trash Mob, you get into there. Again, combo points is your gear, is your choice here. This one is a, depending on the situation, pop shadow, boom, boom, get rid of those, apply, blow all the trash mobs up. If you're fighting a boss or an elite, then pop poison, 1, 2, 3, boom, 1, 2, 3, boom, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, boom, 1, 2, 3, boom, 1, 2, 3, boom. And that kind of will start wasting everything. Use your caltrips when you need to get out to reset your position. But other than that, this is a really fun build running with these. If you don't want to run 2 imbuments, I would probably take Shadow just so you can clear. And then you can switch this out for, maybe an ultimate skill. You could throw Death Trap on this one. I threw Death Trap on this one in the beta. That was a lot of fun. I've used a lot of Shadow Clone and a lot of Death Trap. I have not used Rain of Arrows that much. That might be fun to throw in here, although I don't know enough about it because I didn't really use it. It just seemed too much like Rain of Arrows from Diablo 3. But it still looks kind of fun, at least in the trailer when they jumped off the horse and threw Rain of Arrows down. I don't know how it's going to perform in Endgame yet. And I haven't seen a lot of folks on any of the sites that I frequent use it. Anyway. Alrighty, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That is the Force Imbue build. I will again put it down in the tree or down below in the comments. If you enjoyed my build videos here, please leave a like and subscribe on the buttons that you need to hit in the thing. I can't talk anymore. I've been talking too much. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the videos. Under 48 hours until we get to finally play this game and get into it and really start cooking on this stuff. So, all right. Thank you very much for hanging out with me, and we'll see you next time.